So I sent you guys email to download SQL Server, Express, and Studio from home. So just when you go home today, download it, and we can spend maybe an hour something on Thursday's lab to actually work through some hands-on on the SQL Server side of things. Okay, so make sure you download that from home. Let me go to the. Oh, this is shopping site. That's right. Okay, so hopefully you guys are on something similar screen here that I have. You might see the dashboard and you will see the project called Rflow. Is everybody on the screen? Everybody got the access? Okay, great. So let me just open up the project, see what we have in the project. Now, again, you guys already worked through the Azure DevOps, so this is no different tool. This software is very similar to the Azure DevOps, but in the companies, like some companies like State of Ohio, a bunch of other companies, they use Azure DevOps, JP Morgan, and a bunch of other companies, they are big on JIRA, JIRA software. But again, process remains same. We are not changing, there is no change in the process. You will have the requirements for the stories. You will have to create test cases as part of it. It's just that this is a different tool, so you need to get familiar with it, how the tool works. And so I'll show you some overview of where you can do things, what things, and how do you execute the test case and so forth. But everything starts with the sprint and board, right? So you have the board here, dashboard, which shows you all the issues that you are working through in your project. So that's what I have listed here. Now, JIRA is mainly the Scrum Agile type of tool. So you always have to set up some type of sprint in JIRA, which I have set it up basically from starting with the last week to this week. And then I pulled in these 7 issues as part of the sprint. But let me go back here one more time. So you guys are here, right, on this one, and this is where I am clicking.
Actually, if you click on Backlog, it'll show up everything that you have in the file.
Yep, that is correct. Now, start with the backlog, right? Product backlog, what is it? It's a running list of all the stories or all the requirements that your project contains. So this is the product backlog. Backlog items are here. It could have 50 or 20, I don't know, whatever items that you could have. But again, your sprint, you can pull the backlog item to the sprint by simply dragging and dropping. Let's say I want this story to currently working on my sprint. So I can drag and drop here, then becomes part of my basically sprint. Okay, so that's how the tool works. It's very user friendly. But you can start with the backlog, pull in the set up your sprint and pull in your stories to work through it. Now sprint is, as I said, October to, it ends on October 15th. And so we'll be working through these stories during this sprint. Now let me come back to the board. So board will show me the current sprint, okay, current sprint I am on. That's what the board is about. And I have different stories here. Again, the work that you are doing is no different, okay, with Azure DevOps. These stories are typically managed by the business analyst, right? You don't create them. And I already have created some stories for you to create your quality assurance artifacts. So as part of the stories, let me open up one of the stories here. So I'm going to start with the simple one. User can access Rflow securely via Rflow securely via providing secure credentials. Again, you can enter as much detail as you want in the stories. So you can start typing in whatever the details the business analyst can do as part of the story and save it. Okay, and do the attachment, any diagrams or anything that you can have, you can attach with the story. But as a QA, you will not be working on the stories. Okay, you will be working on the test cases, documenting them, and so forth. So where do you go and document your test cases? So that's where you see this Sapphire scale icon. So you click on that, and it will take you to the test cases section over there. Okay, this section is here. I can use that. Now here, it will show me my associated test cases here. So if I have 5 test cases, it will show me all 5 test cases here. Now, how do I add a new one? If I click on the plus sign. Now, as I said, this tool is different. So it will take you to a different place to add the new test case. Still loading. All right. So once it loads, you will have different sections to fill out as part of your test case. So again, generally you have title. This is where your title will go. So here, let me say dealer user can access our flown securely. So I'm testing the dealer login functionality. Okay. Here in this tool, you have a separate section for preconditions. Okay. In the Azure DevOps, we did not have that. But here you have separate section. And here, any precondition that you have, you can enter, or I'm just entering, leaving it blank for now. Status, priority, component, owner. These things, if it's a draft status, you are still working on it, you can leave it there. If somebody reviews your test case, you can change it to approve. But again, here, we are not following that process here, so I'm just going to leave it draft, not changing anything. The important part is where my steps are. So that's where you go to the test script section. And this is where you can start entering your steps. Again, steps are access are flown. You have that's the detail of the step. You have test data here. So you have a separate column for the test data. Okay. So in the DevOps, we did not have the separate data, a separate column for test data. But here you can specify our flown.azurewebsites.net. And what is your expected result? Site shows up. Okay. Access our flown URL by typing in URL specified in the test data. Okay. Now, this is the first one, and I can click on add step. Second step, login with credentials, dealer credentials. And here, login, you can specify the credentials, whatever G training, password is training. The expected result is able to enter login credentials. And then you can add one more step. Click on login. No test data at this point. Expected result would be successfully logged on. And I'm on dealer homepage. Okay. At this point, your test case is done. You save it. Okay. And you're done with your documenting your test case. Now, here there is execution details. There is a traceability, like a what story it ties back to. Any attachments you have, you can put it attachment, and history will show you the change history and other things. But other than that, details and test scripts are the two main parts. Okay. So at this point, I'm done. So I'm done documenting my test case. So I'll go back to my board here. And let me find that story. And hopefully I can see my second test case here. This is this is the one that I just added. Okay. So that's the part of the documentation part. It's very straightforward, similar to the DevOps. Now, where do you go and how do you execute, right? So you can obviously execute right from here. Now, again, the tool is different, so it will have a different pop-up. It will take you different place to actually execution portion. Okay, so here it shows a little bit differently. I don't have precondition, otherwise it will show me precondition as well. But what I can do is I can start the execution by clicking this, okay, so that you can record the steps, okay? If you don't do that, I don't think it will allow you to record the steps, capture the steps. So I will start the execution, and then I come down, and these are my steps. So I actually follow my steps. Open the browser, type in the URL, I said parsed. Second step, log in with the credential, I said parse here.
You can add the actual results right there.
Yeah, actual results right here. Now, generally, so in the DevOps, we did not have actual result for the past step. But if it fails, it will ask you in the Azure DevOps. Enter your comment and do the defects and so forth. Here, you can enter the actual result right here. I'm just copying whatever I had. So if it passes, all three passes, then you just go and click on pass at this point and be done with it. Basically, it says pass at the top. Now here, let's say something happened and it failed. You are failing, which is the X button. Now blocked is another one here. So what it is, it shows that your test case is blocked because of something else is pending. Something else is not working in the site. So you can mark that step as blocked step. But generally, if you are failing, just go and fail it. So it will show the red here, and hopefully it changes the status at the top, fail. Again, last step would be to document what is failed, right? And communicate to the developer. Just like Azure DevOps, the last button here, that is for the creating the issue or bug. So you click on it and click on create issue. And summary, actually here you can select what are you creating. So it gives you option of bug here. So I select the bug because you are trying to create a bug here at this point. Wrong homepage displayed. Okay. And you can generally attach a screenshot as well. I don't know whether I showed you guys snipping tool. You guys are familiar with the snipping tool? Okay. I don't need to go to any site. Let me just go. So there is every computer has some type of screen capture tool. On the Windows, it's called snipping tool. So I can click on it, run it, and just click on new. And then I can capture what is wrong with it. So the error message you might be getting on the screen, you can just capture it and then copy it and paste it. Well, it doesn't work here in this tool. So what you need to do is save it as an image. Error pictures, it goes in the pictures, error.png. And what I can do is, once I capture it, I can attach to my bug. Okay, that's the link. let's see, where is the, oh, these are links. Oh, this is attachment. There you go. So now I can put the image over there, type in whatever additional information I want, so that developer can see it. It will help them troubleshoot what was wrong. So at this point, the bug is tied with this test case and so forth, and I'm done. Again, I can go back with the test cases here. Oops, no, the test cases. Let me go back to the Rflow. Now, some tools are difficult to navigate. I mean, this is it's not that this tool is difficult to navigate either, but it's just that you have to get familiar with it, because if you are used to different tool, how do you go back and work through that? So here again, I'll see all the related stories. It shows the failed status at this point, and in the bug, where do I find the bug, right? So if you go to the backlog, you will be able to see the bug in the backlog. Wrong homepage displayed, and you can change it or update it or put it in a proper status, or you can drag and drop this bug to the current sprint if you are tackling the same bug in the same sprint. Okay, so it will start showing up on the dashboard. Okay. So you should be able to see the bug right here with the screenshot that we attached. This is a screenshot of the that we took earlier. Any question on this tool here? It's a very similar tool. Okay, so I think you guys should be okay leveraging, and I'll let you guys work through a couple of test cases. See if you guys get familiar with this tool here. But anything that's not clear, let me know, and I can explain you it. If not, what we can do is let me get you. You can enter a couple of test cases here, 2 or 3 test cases that you already created earlier. Same test case. You can just associate with the stories here and get familiar with the tool. Okay. So let's work through that process. And if it takes you like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I think it should be fine. Okay. I'll let you guys work. Online folks, I'm assuming you guys were able to get in the tool and able to work through it now. Okay, so I think says you are having trouble with the, so you created a test case, but you are not able to see it with the story.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Let me check it here. So I'm just gonna go somewhere, pick any test case, because I want to go to the Zephyr scale module where I can see all the test cases. I went to the wrong one. Okay. Oh, which story was yours?
Application.
Okay. All right. So let me find out what's your test case here. Did you put your name, Leela? Yeah. Only one credit application assigned to the lender. Okay. So I'm going to open in a new window. Let me see what it is. Okay. All right, so we got a few steps. Okay, so it's not linked to any story here, right? Because I don't see any attachment linked to. So with the one way you can do it is go search for the existing story. So that's what I'm going to do here. Okay, tell me the story. Which story? Lender, same one we talked.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to search for just lender. and see if I can find all the matching stories here. I think it's this one, right? Lender can only access.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to select that. So I'm going to associate my test case with that story. I can do with the multiple stories as well. Okay, if it's really ties to the multiple story. But here, click on add. Now you can see it here. I need to save it still. Okay, and now I can see if I can go to this story. And I should be able to see that test case here. If not, there's something else going on. Let's see. It's still loading, so let's see. So Lida, I can see your test case here.
Okay.
Yeah. So it says requirement traceability. This is traceability. So you tie your test case with the requirement. It creates a trace where things are.
So where did those requirements come? Like when now you link mine to something, right? Like
the same test case.
Was
Yeah.
already there.
Yeah, requirement is created by me.
Oh.
I am acting as a business analyst. So I gave you the requirement. You are creating your test cases for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure.
Try to look behind, I can see it. So
Which one?
the second dimension.
Tell me the number that you have, or did you put your name?
Yes.
I have all the test cases here. Bonaventure.
No.
Yeah, make sure you put the title properly, because in Bonaventure, when you say it like, it doesn't do anything, because test case is supposed to have your name just to identify it, plus the actual what is your test case about. Two things. So let me open this one, see what you have. Okay, so this is the login one, and it is tied to this story. User can access our flow securely while providing secure credentials. So if you go to this story, you should be able to see your test case. It just takes a few seconds to load. Yep, I can see Bonaventure right there in the story. This is the story. Okay, I'll give you guys 15 more minutes. Okay, let's work through one more, and then we'll regroup.
If I want to create a new one, how do we start?
So you start with the story. Always go back to the story and start adding from there. That's the easiest route. So go to the board, find the story that you want to add the test case to,
Okay.
and work through that process.